So Jonathan, Earnest Money Deposit, aka EMD, right? So what is it and when do you need it as a buyer?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, when somebody's buying a home, they're essentially putting up a good faith deposit. They need to provide that within a few days of the actual accepted offer.
Okay, so good faith deposit. Deposit sounds like, does that then get deposited into the seller's bank account? Or what happens with that deposit?
No. So the title company who's handling the transaction holds those funds until the deal gets closed.
Yeah, so they're holding the funds, title or the brokerage, right? One of the parties that you make it out to, they hold the funds, and then it gets applied toward the balance. It's on top of the purchase price, or what happens with those funds?
Yeah, so that actually gets applied to the balance. It's not just an amount of money that you're just throwing at the seller.
So real life scenario, I've got $20,000 in closing costs. I have a $10,000 earnest money deposit. How does that work when I show up to the closing table?
So you would have $10,000 less due at closing.
Got it. So I would need to bring another $10,000 and now the house is mine.
Correct.
Right? Okay, now the deal, let's just say we went under contract on this house. I put my $10,000 earnest money deposit down, right? I go through the inspection and I find out, oof, this house is a disaster. Now what?
Yeah, don't be alarmed. That $10,000 is 100% refundable in that case.
Yeah, so now we do something called a mutual release, right?
Yes.
All parties sign that agreement and now that buyer gets that money back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so earnest money deposit isn't something to be worried or scared about. The threshold is you do need all parties to sign off on that. Overwhelming 99.99% of times, all parties sign off on that. Should those parties not sign off on the release, then you do need to move into some type of court action in order to get that money back. But that happens on the absolute extreme cases.
Yes.
Very rarely does that ever take place. So mind you, you still get your money back. It just might be a little bit rougher, but on the overwhelming majority of transactions, both parties sign off and release it, right? So that's earnest money deposit, gets credited towards the closing costs. It's very typical, and you get to pick how much you want. Mind you, the more you put down, the higher the likelihood your offer gets accepted, right?
Yes.
Because the seller likes to see that you have some skin in the game right up front, that you have some finances that you're able to close the property with. But at the end of the day, you get to pick how much. It could be $1, right? I wouldn't suggest that, but it could be $1, or it could be $100,000, right? So you get to pick, and it is an earnest money deposit. So whatever balance you have, it gets applied towards it. So any other questions, reach out to us here at the Delia Group. Love to put you in touch with one of our great agents like Jonathan. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.